What's going on, everybody? It's your boy back at it again with another video. By the title of the video, you guys already know what it's about. It's about this big old girl. Old, actually, can't say old. It's about this big behemoth of a machine. This is by far the craziest thing I've ever put my legs over. What is going on? You guys see that? Okay, it's not doing it as much. Let's see if I can catch it doing it. Yeah, look, there it is. Freaking handlebars are shaking. I think it's my tires need to be rebalanced or something, but this is a machine. Oh god, this bike puts millions of smiles on my face on a daily basis. Now, if you're wondering, depending on what I put on the title of the video, if you're wondering what this is a 2021 Kawasaki ZX14R. This is Kawasaki's big boy super sport or sport touring, whatever you want to call it. 1441 cubic centimeters of just Japanese absolute monstrosity. A lot of people buy this bike for various reasons. Some people buy it to drag race and take it to the strip. You know, this bike does have a lot of horsepower. A lot of people buy these things to drag them, you know, they stretch them out, big beefy back tire on here. Either they run nitrous or turbo or some kind of supercharged setup, some kind of force induction setup, and you're good to go, you know. But there's a lot of people that also buy this thing to do what I'm doing right now, to just cruise. This is an awesome touring bike. I can't even, in my own words, the best way that I can put it is it's comfortable. It really is. Off the showroom floor, this model, this exact model right now, with the ABS and the traction and hill control, whatever the hell you want to call that thing that raises the RPMs when you're on the hill to keep the bike from stalling, to help you. All that stuff on this bike has made this bike my favorite by far out of all of the bikes I've ever owned. Even all the bikes I've ridden, because I've ridden quite a few of them to get to this point, to get to deciding that this is the bike that I wanted. I've ridden a few of them, and this one by far, this is my favorite. Anybody need a lawnmower, push mower? This is number one. I'm just gonna go off a really quick list here. I don't have a lot of GoPro battery left on this thing, so I'm gonna try to keep this video nice and short, take a quick little ride, so hopefully I'm gonna be able to keep it nice and short. But reason number one, this thing has power. Okay, that's the big elephant in the room. This is a big, wide, long, semi-heavy bike, and she's got power, which makes this bike just awesome to cruise around on. Because when I do take it on the highway, I've had this bike for 2 weeks, and I work in the city, so I travel a lot on interstates, you know, about 50 miles one way. So on a daily basis, I'm putting about 100 miles, give or take, you know, a few here and there, by me just taking it out after work or whatnot. I bought this bike with 1 mile on it from the showroom, and it's currently got 955 miles. I did the break-in the way they asked me to, and so far this bike has been flawless. No problems, at least none on my end. I haven't had any problems at all. Now, power. This thing has best in its category. The power is just crazy. Other than the H2, which I don't know the power numbers. I believe this bike makes 208 horsepower. I forget if it's at the wheel or at the crank. I think it's at the wheel. Reason number 2 on my very short list is the seat is at a perfect height for me. You can flat foot this bike with just a little bit of tippy toeing, just like a little, like my heel touches the ground on the day where I weigh a little more. So this bike is at a really nice height for me. The seat is nice and thick. It's got perfect amounts of padding, and the way that the suspension the way it's been from the showroom, the way that they set it up for me, I can't complain. This is perfect for me. Third reason why I love this bike, and it's a direct match for me, is the styling. I love the way this bike looks. It has such a nice, aggressive, hey doggy, 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 hey doggy. Oh, I forgot about that one. This bike has such a nice styling, and I like the way that the headlights look, where you're in front of the bike and the bike's behind you. It gives you that kind of predator kind of look, where it's coming out to haunt you. You know, it's here to take your soul. In the mirrors, a lot of people don't like him, but man, I love the way the bike, the way that it came from factory this way, like this. I can't complain. The only of my cons is the exhaust. I'm not a big fan of the dual exhausts. I personally would prefer to have just one single, but that's something that can be changed, and in so many cases they can even add a little bit of performance, but that's my only con. But I love the way that this bike, especially this color scheme, the gray, the black, the green, all of it just looks amazing. To me, bikes have to have a look. It has to, when I walk in the showroom, when I go to look at one, or whenever I see one, for me to really like a bike, it has to catch my attention. The first time I see it, it has to catch my attention. That's why I like my ZX9R. You know, the green, purple, and white, that whole color scheme, the Muzzy edition color scheme, to me, I mean, honestly, you can't beat it. And I wish Kawasaki would come out with a retro kind of, you know, like a throwback kind of style to that bike. Reason number 4 is the different ways you can configure this bike. Now, a lot of the times when you buy a Super Sport, you're buying a Super Sport. That you're buying a street bike, you're buying a race bike, a bike that was derived from a motorcycle to use on the racetrack. Only difference is your bike is probably a little bit down tuned, has headlights, turn signals, and all the fancy other shit that the guys that race don't have. With this bike, you've got a lot of things you can go. You got a lot of ways you can take this bike. I've seen people take these and turn them into drag bikes, and then I've seen people on the forums, on the ZX14 forums, take them and turn them into sport touring bikes, which is crazy how you can have one bike be good at two things. You know, they say something that is good at multiple things is usually not great at one thing, but this bike can be great at multiple things. It's a great drag bike, and it's a great sport touring bike. And the reason that I say that it's a great sport touring bike is because of the way the seat is positioned, the way the handlebars are. For me right now, I could easily go for a 2 to all the way up to a 5-hour trip, no problem on this bike, because I'm not leaned over all that much. The way that I'm sitting right now, just relaxed. My feet are behind my shoulders. They are at a space which to me is pretty comfortable. The way that my body fits into this bike is pretty nice. And to that, you can always get like handlebar risers, and you can get a shaved seat, or you know, different kinds of seats. This bike, despite all the little things that you could do to it, is already pretty great at multiple things. And that's my plan for this bike. Is I have certain things I want to do with it. You guys are gonna see a lot of this bike on the channel, and not because I want to be annoying. I don't want to spam you guys with things, especially not after being away for so long. This is gonna be the bike that I think might be able to help me take my channel to a different spot that my ZX9R couldn't take me, or that Yamaha couldn't take me, because I had plans for the Bolt, but it's one of those bikes that there have been so many builds and they all look pretty similar. And sure, they look really cool, and there's a lot of Yamaha Bolts that are pretty custom and they look nice, but they're not going to be to the extent of custom that this bike can be. And sure, you can also throw the argument of, oh, the ZX14, a lot of people buy them, a lot of people build them pretty close to the same thing, but at the same time, there are things to this bike where you can make it custom. And sure, it's going to cost just as much as if you were to be custom on a Yamaha Bolt, but you're getting a lot more bike and bite for your buck than if you were to build a Yamaha Bolt. Because honestly, I like the Yamaha Bolt, and I wish I could have shown you guys it. It was timing and all these little other things, but I wish I could have shown you the Yamaha Bolt, but instead I'm showing you this monster, and hopefully you guys like it, because I love this bike. And honestly, I wish I could keep riding the ZX9R, but unfortunately, because of some things that have happened to that bike, I'd feel like I'm just beating a dead horse at this point. You know, she runs really good, but I'm having that dreaded second gear problem from first into second. I think my shift fork might be bent or damaged or something, because second gear is basically a snare drum just going off. Yeah, hopefully you guys like this bike. I'm really enjoying it. Being a big girl, I'm still throwing her in the corners just as easy. Oh yeah, just so smooth of a ride. This is, without a doubt, I am saying this because I have no doubt, this is my favorite motorcycle by far. Yeah, so here's the new bike, guys. I really hope you guys like it. No hands, no hands, no hands, no hands, no hands. Oh, no hands. I'm getting better at that. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you so much for the patience on the channel. I know I've been out for a good amount of time, and I really appreciate the patience of everybody, and hopefully you guys stick around so you can see all the lovely content that's about to come out for this monster. Thank you guys. See you on the next one.